0% chance of rain, excellent views and vistas. So I am pretty tired. This map on All Trails, they cheated. Good morning, everybody. This is Dan, and I am at the southern terminus of the Western Trail. The southern terminus is Rattlesnake Rock parking area, which you can see is a pretty big area, and it also has bathrooms, which is a big plus after driving several hours. I'm heading over to the trail, which is located right across the street, and we're going to get this started. Now, this trail is approximately 30 miles, and it is a point-to-point, meaning it is not a loop. I will be hiking from the southern terminus 30 miles to the northern terminus. So you're probably wondering, well, what am I doing with my car? Well, there is an outfitter up here, or a store. It's called Pine Creek Outfitters, and they provide a shuttle service. However, with the COVID, they're not doing the shuttle service, but what they will do is, I parked here, I leave my key in my car, and they will move it to the northern terminus. So hopefully they move it by the time I'm done with the trail tomorrow. However, it is expensive. Just to move my car to the northern terminus was $55. So if you're gonna be alone, there's really not much you can do about it. If you're gonna be hiking with multiple people, I highly recommend you at least bring 2 cars, and you can put them at each end and save some money. The Western Trail is also known as the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. It has spectacular views, and the entire trail kind of runs along Pine Creek, which is a pretty big creek that basically cut this gorge. Now, the views are mainly in the northern section, at least the best ones in my opinion. So the first part of today is about a 2-mile walk up about 1,500 feet. But if you start from the north, it's pretty much the same. So if you look at the elevation gains and losses, the trail itself is pretty much the same from whether you start north to south or south to north. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Once you're at the top, it kind of smooths out. Then you got the roller coaster of up over the mountains and back down and up and back down. But there are some flat areas where you can make up some time. I'm at about a mile in, and there's actually a connector trail from the West Rim Trail to the Black Forest Trail. I think it's roughly about 8 miles, and it's called the Long Branch Trail. It goes that way. Today, for the West Rim Trail, we're going to continue on the Orange Blazes. So the weather for this trip is expected to be absolutely gorgeous. 0% chance of rain. It's going to be high in the 80s, low in the low 50s. As a matter of fact, this morning when I started, it was in the mid 40s. Had to have my fleece on to start out the day. But other than that, it's going to be gorgeous. Probably one of the first trips I've had where I did not have rain. So far on this trail, I've crossed, I'm about 6-7 miles in, and I've crossed plenty of water sources. You probably don't even need to carry a full 2 liters, probably 1 or even half, and just fill up at each water source will be good. I haven't been drinking out of my bottles. I've just been stopping at the water sources and filling up my beefery and drinking from that and then putting it away. My plan for today is, again, I really don't have one. I would like to get somewhere between 15 and 20 miles for the day, so it makes tomorrow a little bit shorter, so I can get out up in the morning and get out. Since this trail is 30 miles, you might be thinking, oh, why don't you do it in a day hike again? Well, there's no guarantees my car is going to be there if I would, and there's no guarantees I can make it. So hopefully I can get to mile 15-ish or 20 for the day, and that'll give me another 10 miles or so for tomorrow. If I can get further, I'll get further. We'll see how it goes, and all depending on whether there's campsites. It's a roller coaster on this trail. Right now I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna look for a spot for the next couple miles and then just stop and have some lunch. I just have to say, it is absolutely the most beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. So far today, I passed probably 5 groups of people. Most of them in pairs, one of them in a group of 3. So they're all heading to the northern terminus, which is what we're closest to. So I'm willing to bet that they started Saturday and did some overnights, because normally, or 2 overnights. Normally I like to go during the week because a lot less people. Most people will go on the weekends because they work. So I'm just assuming that people maybe made this a 3-day trip and they're finishing up today. But it's good that people are out in the trail. All right, so it's about 1 o'clock and I am really hungry. I'm about 10 miles in and I did find this nice camp spot here. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna have lunch and look at the map, see how far I wanna go. Just finished up lunch and let me tell you, that definitely hit the spot. I needed that rest and I needed that food. Really good. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go anywhere between 5 more miles, 7 more miles. That'll get me at mile 17 from going from the south, and it'll put me up for about a 13 to 12, depending how far I go, mile day tomorrow. But if I can pick up the pace, I may go farther because I don't want to get there at like 3 or 4 and then have to set up and sit there. So I might push along. There's plenty of campsites. Let's see how far I get. Okay, so I made it to the Bradley Wales State Forest picnic area. You can park your car. They have a water source, which I believe you have to pump that thing like 100 times. So picnic tables and some bathrooms. You can't camp here, but this is a nice little respite. This is roughly at the halfway point of the trail. So I'm gonna sit here in the shade in one of these picnic tables and just rest for a little bit and figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I'm roughly at mile 16 coming from south, 14 if you're coming from the north. And I can tell you, there's all these excellent views and vistas, and almost at each one, there's a very nice campsite. So, and they face, the vistas face the east. So when the sun sets behind you in the morning, you're gonna get the sunrise right in the vista. Well, it looks like I found home for tonight. There is a campsite. I'm about roughly mile 19 for the day, coming south, or I'm sorry, going north from the south. And this is about mile 11 if you're coming from the north to south. So that means I only have 11 miles tomorrow. So I'm gonna set up camp, do my chores, and I may even gather some wood for a fire tonight. It is about 6 o'clock. On the menu for tonight is from Packet Gourmet. It's the All-American Works Burger. And this only takes 2 ounces of water. And it has the cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, everything, relish that you can put on it. And you just use wraps. Dinner is done, and let me tell you, it was good. The All-American Burgers taste just like a cheeseburger. It's from Packet Gourmet. You really need to check it out. So that's done. I have hung my bear bag, and now I'm just going to crawl in my tent and just relax a little bit. Maybe listen to an audiobook or a movie, whichever. So I am pretty tired. I'll probably just end up falling asleep. All right, good morning, day 2. Slept pretty good. My sleeping bag was a little bit on a slant, but I was too tired to fix it. But it's going to be a great day. Got about 11 miles left, and I'm going to eat some breakfast, and I'm going to head out. So I decided to look at the map and look at my GPS to see where I'm at. And I use All Trails. I have a couple different apps, but mainly it's Gut Hooks for the AT and All Trails for everything else. But I have found that All Trails, almost on every trail, has been wrong on several occasions. If you just look at the paper map and the websites, it says that this trail is over 30 miles. But if you look on All Trails, it shows 27 point something. So I came up on about mile, maybe 9, between mile 10 and 8 somewhere. And I looked at All Trails, and again, it showed I was like a mile off. And I did a screenshot so you can see it. It looks like someone took a shortcut. Whoever created this map on All Trails took a shortcut up Siemens Trail, because that's what it was. It was a yellow blaze trail, and they circumvented about 2 miles worth of the actual trail. And you can see it on the screenshot where it still says Western Trail that I'm on. So this happened on a couple other trails where I believe how they make their maps is someone tracks, they go out and do the trail and they track themselves. So if they screw up, you screw up. So I confirmed everything with my paper map and I'm good to go. But just remember that try to always have a paper map. And All Trails, it's good, I guess. It's okay just for general navigation to kind of see where you're at, see where you're going. But it usually has all the trails that I hike, which most of the other apps don't. But always have a paper map. Always try to use the paper map as much as you can, because most of the time they are accurate. And for this trail, Black Forest Trail, a couple other trails, get your map from Pine Creek Outfitters. I'm telling you, the maps are really good. They are very detailed. It's the owner, I don't have his name. He's a cartographer and he does these maps. And they just don't show the trail and mileage and some topography, they show campsites, water sources, cross trails, crossroads, everything. And you can really plan out a trip. They're really good maps, and they're worth it. And there's also, he does a guidebook for them too. So Pine Creek Outfitters is where you want to get those maps as much as you can. All right, right there is where I came out. And that was miles between 10 and 8. And right here is where that Yellow Blaze Seaman's Trail comes out, which will cut off about maybe 1.5 miles to 2 miles. So whoever, and this is at mile 10, you can pick this up. But whoever created this trail or this map on All Trails, they cheated. Mile 6 for the day, got about 5 miles left for the trail. And I'm gonna stop here soon and have a second breakfast. When I get up here around 3 miles left for the trail, or 3 miles if you're coming from the north, that's where all the big vistas are for this trail. That's where you see them all. A lot of them, it's kind of the same view because they're both facing the same side of the canyon, but they are spectacular. And it's just one right after the other, bam, bam. So that's gonna be really nice. Well, I made it, 30 miles. Car's here. Trail was a great trail. Highly recommend this trail. It's a little bit of a roller coaster. It's up and down, but nothing you're not gonna be able to handle, but it was very fun, very beautiful trail. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.